And there's a reason that Aries, the first zodiac, is not right here in 1 o'clock. And that is by looking at these two. What happens when we look at these two letters and these two letters? Just their imagery. This is the reason why Aries is over here and not here. Is because this letter, Ayin, has two flames. Tzadi has two flames. And these two look very similar to Shin. If we had this mirrored and we had Aries over here going this way, Ayin and Tzadi would be over here with Mem. It wouldn't make sense because look, Tet and Samek, they look very similar to Mem. So that's why we have made the zodiac go clockwise, and that's why we have positioned Aries in the 2 o'clock position. And there's a common understanding that Aleph is the creator of all the other letters. When we understand that Aleph is the creator of all the other letters, and that Shin and Mem come from Aleph first, and that all the other letters come after Shin and Mem, then we can understand that these letters come directly after Shin, and these two letters, Tet and Samek, come directly after Mem. So to make that easier to look at, they've been color-coded red. Tet and Samek have been colored blue, so that you can correlate them with Mem, and you can correlate Ayin and Tzadi with Shin. Now these lines that you see represent the genealogy of the Hebrew alphabet that comes after. In other words, the family tree. All of this framework is building upon what we need to understand in order to get to the Essene tree of life and how it is represented in these 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. Aleph creates Shin and Mem. Shin creates Ayin and Tzadi. Mem creates Samek and Tet. And then you can follow these lines to see that Nun is created by Tzadi, Zayin is created by Ayin, Tet creates Lamed, Samek creates Yod. Okay? So when you look at these forms, you can see where they came from. And you can follow the genealogy back to their source. Now the source is Aleph, and Shin gathers its form by taking Yod and multiplying it by 3. You could even say it multiplies it by 4. Because Vav here can also be seen as Nun here. We have Yod right here. We have Zayin right here. Now one thing to understand, this is the father side and this is the mother side. Every father must mate with a mother in order to create children. The mothers serve as the womb through which the children are born. Now you can see Shin impregnates Mem. Here is Vav impregnated inside of Mem. Mem gives birth and Vav is born. Okay, it's the same with all the other letters. Nun is born. You can see the form of Nun is in Tzadi, right here. Yod is born. You can see the form of Yod in Tzadi. Tzadi mated with Samek, and then Samek gave birth to Yod. Now, Yod is a miniature version of Samek. If you were to shrink Samek, it would look like Yod. All right, see how large it is? You can fit Yod inside of the womb of Samek. Okay, Zayin, you can see Zayin is here. Shin passed Zayin to Ayin, existing latent in Ayin. Ayin impregnates Tet with Zayin. Tet gives birth to Zayin from her womb, and you can see Zayin is in her womb. Now, Lamed originates from Tet. Lamed takes on more of the form of Tet overall, except that the tail goes around the bottom rather than in the top. Okay, you see the claw, the arm, the body, and the tail that comes around the top that represents the scorpion. In Lamed, the flame, that arm that comes down, the body, and then the tail that goes around the bottom. So these are the same form, except this one has its own unique expression. Just as this one carries the same form from Mem, but it's its own unique expression. Now Vav expands to become Kuf. Chet expands to become He. Now, Chet and He represent double letters, just like the 7 doubles, except that they are 2 letters that represent 2 sounds of the same double. Instead of Bet, Vet, represented by 1 letter, you have Chet, He, represented by 2 letters. So they're directly connected. You can see their imagery directly connects them. You can see their imagery directly connects them. You can see their imagery directly connects them. And this imagery directly connects them. This imagery directly connects them, just solely by imagery. This imagery is directly connected to this one. It's also in this one, but it comes from this one first because the father impregnates the mother. And Shin gave this form to Ayin. So these are the genealogical lines that represent which letter came from which other letter.